To give you an idea of how much of an upgrade this LED light is, I'm going to compare. I'll show you. This is the beam pattern for the LED light. This is the beam pattern for the incandescent light. You can see that the LED light throws a much more uniform floodlightish looking light. The incandescent is what you get more yellowish. You get a lot of bands and dark spots in it, and you can see that it's not nearly as bright. So overall, the light quality with the LED is a huge improvement over the incandescent. What I thought I'd do is just do a comparison of the Nite Ize LED drop-in versus a couple other flashlights I've got here. Okay, let's do the, I'm doing this handheld, sorry I didn't bring my tripod with me. That's the Nite Ize light there. That's focused down to as much of a spotlight as it'll go. And I'm holding the flashlight with my mouth, so that's why I'm being quiet here. This is the regular incandescent Maglite right here. So let me see if I can get both of them out here so we can compare them. Alright, that's the LED on the right, incandescent on the left. Really no comparison as far as light output goes. Quality of light you can see. And again, I've got this focused down to the spotlight mode. I'll put the camera down for a second, get them both in flood mode, and we'll see how they compare. Okay, this is the LED, fully zoomed out flood mode. This is the incandescent, flooded out. Hey, there's Fred. Hey Fred, what you doing, buddy? You can see that the quality of the light from the LED is just far superior too. Nice even illumination, so you know, as far as blood trailing at night, there's the LED, there's the Maglite, lots of holes, shadows. Not really very good quality light, definitely superior. Okay, now here are the two lights in spotlight, focused into spotlight mode. There's the LED, there's the Maglite, or there's the incandescent. I think just from the naked eye, it looks like out at that distance there's not necessarily a whole lot of difference in brightness. If you're talking about on, just say that little tree right there, maybe go slight edge the LED, but the thing is the LED, even in spotlight mode, casts a much wider beam, which is always helpful when you're using it in a navigation or tracking situation. Well, I just got back from testing Maglites out in the snow, and it looks like the problem that I experienced before with the rear LED that's supposed to be flashing is happening again. And again, it's supposed to, once you turn the light on once, it's supposed to go into a flash mode, which it has there. Interesting. Don't know if it's a function of the cold, perhaps. I don't know. It's flashing now. There it's on a continuous lit mode. it's not flashing again. So clearly there's an issue with that rear cap there. Don't know what it is. Still works fine as far as turning the light on and off, but the flashing little locator LED is kind of jacked up. We'll get a chance to test their customer service on that, I guess. After last night's demo, I've done a little digging around online, and I've also been on the phone with Nite Ize customer service, and I have learned a few things. I guess the first thing that I've learned is what this cryptic little piece of paper means. And that's related to the problem that I had with the light coming on when I first installed the light bulb yesterday. And that is that the light is polarity specific, meaning that if you put it in one way, it works. If you put it in the other way, it doesn't work. And that's what, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this little diagram here that shows it turning half a turn here, I thought that meant turning this whole unit here, and what it meant was pull it out and turn it 90 degrees. So that explains why it didn't work the first time I put it in there. The other thing that I've learned is that, contrary to what I said yesterday, they do actually, Nite Ize actually does publish the LED or the lumen output for this 1 watt LED, and they publish it as 30 watts. And while I was on the phone today with the customer service department, I asked about a LED upgrade 2, which is on their website, that is set to ship in mid-March, she said. And despite what it says on the website, which is that the lumen output, the website says the lumen output is 30 watts, or 30 lumens rather. What I was told by the customer service representative is that it was actually 50 lumens. So that'll be about a 80% upgrade in the light over this unit that we're testing here. So that should be good. Looking forward to testing that. I should also point out that the reason I called customer service was to point out the problem that I had with the switch flashing, which when I tried it again 8 hours later this morning, it still was not flashing, but I don't know if you can see this. Now it is. So the switch is a little bit quirky, and I will say that the customer service that I received when I called was great. The lady took my name and my phone number and my address and promised to ship me off a replacement right away. Didn't ask for me to return the old one or for any proof or anything like that. So that was good. I have to give them kudos for that. So now it's time for what I call the Quavo portion of my review. And Quavo stands for quality, usability, effectiveness, value, and then I'll give you my opinion, which is the O, Quavo. Quality. I would have to give it these two products a B to a C on quality. Fit and finish seems to be pretty good, but obviously there were some quirks with the switch itself. Seems to have resolved itself for the time being, but it does give me a little bit of concern about whether there might be other issues down the road. I have to rate the quality of the documentation as very poor. If anybody is expected to figure out that this means that the bulb is polarity specific, I think they're crazy. Now, this is the components of this are manufactured offshore. The company itself is based out of Colorado. I don't know whether this is something that perhaps their offshore supplier came up with. Looks kind of like it, but that's terrible. Don't like that.